Hello and welcome to my NACA Real Estate Home Buyers Overview. My name is Jill Arrington and I am your cash flow for retirement realtor. I work with Goshen Real Estate. I am excited about sharing with you today some of the information that briefly shares what NACA has to offer home buyers. NACA means Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, okay? And so I'm going to actually read from the slide what it is that they do. You can read along with me. Who is NACA? NACA is a nonprofit housing and urban development certified home ownership and advocacy organization that has been in the forefront in the fight for economic justice. NACA has made the dream of home ownership a reality for hundreds of thousands of working people, enabling those with credit issues, limited assets, or subject to discrimination to purchase a home or modify their predatory loan on the most affordable terms. NACA continues to set the national standard in its advocacy for affordable home ownership and access to credit. My story. In 1999, my niece and I, we both went through NACA. We went through as a team. We were first-time home buyers, and we knew the power of multi-unit purchases. So my niece and I decided to purchase a duplex. She lived in one and I live in the other. Our goal was not to sell right away, but to get another property and start investing in real estate. And so we had a strategy, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. However, it didn't work out that way for us. We had some family issues that came about and we had to sell. So we purchased for $158,000 and we sold it 2 years later for $238,000, with us both walking away with about $50,000 each cash in the bank. Not a bad deal. The takeaway is that the program works with NACA, and you too can walk away with a single family home or a multi-unit property. Although this program is not for investors. Let me say that again. The program is not for investors. Actually, they qualify you. They look to see if you make too much money to be a part of their particular program, and then will refer you to another lender. This is for first-time home buyers who ordinarily would not be able to get a loan due to their low credit score, or some other reason that would keep them from purchasing a home, low income, something like that. So if you already own a home, you're in a home, this is not going to be the right program for you. However, we do have several programs. NACA's loan program has some of the best features found in the nation. That's what I love about them. They are true to their word. Okay, so number one, I call it number one feature or benefit, is that you could do a regular purchase or you could do a purchase and a rehab. And that's what my niece and I did. We did a purchase and rehab. When we moved into the home, there were some things that needed to be updated, and we were able to do that through our purchase. And that was really great. They really brought the property up. Also increased our equity in our property. A down payment, there is no down payment. Closing costs, there is no closing cost. No, really, there is no closing cost. The lender pays the closing cost. Then you have interest rate. Their interest rate is always below market. Remember that they're against predatory lending. So they're not going to give you an interest rate this year and then the following year it goes up or it blows up. Their interest rate is their interest rate, and you get locked into that. Their term, they have a 30-year or a 15-year term. I really love this. All lenders offer this term, but because the interest rate is low, it can make your payments are lower, which makes doing a 15-year plan versus a 30-year plan a lot more doable. And that's the goal. That should be the goal of any property that we go after, is to pay that mortgage off, not have a mortgage, be done with it, and be able to use that income to invest, okay, to something. So we do an upgrade in our investments. And then there's a buy down. So this is a great feature. The buy down feature is the funds that can be used to permanently reduce your interest rate. So you can buy down your interest rate with a certain amount of money. Now, I can't explain that. I'm not authorized to do the workshop. I'm doing an overview, But when you go to the workshop, they will explain how that works. Actually, they will give you a book once you attend the workshop. You will get their book, and it is with their step-by-step instructions on everything that you would want to know about NACA and how their program works. There are also no application fees, no points and fees, and your credit history, perfect credit not required. So members' personal payment history is evaluated without consideration of your credit score. That means that they're not going to use a credit score in order to qualify you for the loan. They will look at other things on your credit. If there's something that you need to have removed or something you need to explain, this is with any lender. They're going to ask you to explain it. They're going to talk about it, and you cannot have any recent collections on your credit. So all of that will be explained at the workshop. That's why the workshop is so important. So the PMI, private mortgage insurance, as a NACA member, you do not pay private mortgage insurance. That protects, the PMI is what protects the lender. It doesn't protect you. So NACA does not have you pay PMI on your property. You do have access to NACA's comprehensive post-purchase program through their membership assistance program, and they help you after you've gotten done with your loan. They can help you and continue to work with you to make sure that you keep your home. NACA is about people actually keeping their property once they get it, okay? They do not want you to lose your property. And also after you go through and you decide that you want to be a part of their program, they have a membership. It's called the Neighborhood Stabilization Fund, and I think it's $25 a month. And they just require that they ask you to participate in workshops, come tell your testimony about how your process went and things like that. So what qualities does an applicant need to have to move through the NACA process? Well, first you need patience and persistence. Patience and persistence because NACA is a nonprofit organization. So they have not hired a whole lot of people to come in and to work with their people. However, they have a lot of people in their program. And sometimes people will come in and get their experience, or they've been there for years and they'll retire out, and you have to work with another counselor. So there is some turnover within NACA, and that part can be frustrating. However, it doesn't stop your process. You just keep flowing, and that's why we are here to help you, walk you through this process. There could be some ups and downs, or it could be a smooth flow. It just depends on where you are and what's going on with the company at that time. However, again, patience and persistence is needed because it is a nonprofit. They're true to their word, and it is one of the best programs that I know. So if we could just have what number 2 is, the ability to follow instructions, do exactly what they tell you to do, and don't get frustrated by the process, or don't get discouraged by what they tell you. If it takes a little bit longer than what you had hoped, let's just do that. Walk through it. This program is, if they approve you, this program is for you, and you can move through it. The next thing you need to have is follow up and follow through. So follow up and follow through. So if you miss an appointment, you have to make sure that you reschedule another appointment. You have to follow through. If they say bring in paperwork, this is on you. This is your process. And this is with any lender. People are not going to chase you to do what it is that you need to do to move through your process. Okay? But again, we are here for you. We'll hold you accountable. We'll help you. We'll be there to listen. We cannot go in on your behalf. We cannot speak to counselors on your behalf. Everything is done by the actual client. However, we are authorized. I am signed up, and my broker is signed up to be NACA agents. That means that we can sign people up and that we can represent finding a home for you to purchase. Okay? And then you're going to need more patience. That's right. More patience. More patience with the process. Patience with yourself. Patience with whatever you need to go through in order to get to where you need to be. Be patient and give yourself the time and the kudos, everything that you need, because the process is one we're going through, and at the end, you're going to be so excited. You're going to be so happy. When you get those keys in your hand, it's nothing like it. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. You also need the ability to make copies of your documents and maintain your own folder in addition to what you give NACA. So I'm saying that please, 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 before you hand NACA any documents, make sure that you have copies and you've kept your own folder. When my niece and I went through NACA, they lost our whole file. And because I'm administrative, so I know I keep copies of everything. I had made copies of everything we were given NACA. So I just walked in with another copy of the file, gave it to them, and we were able to move through our process. Okay, so depending on your ability to keep your appointments and follow through this process, it can take you up to a year if you have a lot of missed appointments. You're not showing that you can pay your rent on time. You don't have the documents they say you need. You don't do the letters of explanation. Anything that they ask you to do, if you hold on to it and you wait and you procrastinate, you will not flow through this process. You will not flow through the process. So I just want to encourage you and let you know again that even if you come out of your appointment and you have this list of stuff, you would bring that back to me. You would say, Jill, look, this is what we need to work through. I'll be there to help you. I can type letters. I could do a lot of administrative stuff to help you move through your process even quicker. I will be there to support you all the way through the process. And I'll keep saying that. I will be there for you. Okay. And so the real estate strategy for retirement. So it's one of the fastest ways to develop your cash flow for retirement is through purchasing multi-unit property. If you're young, let's say you're under 40, you're going to say, why do I need to do that? My job is going to give me my retirement, or I'm going to get Social Security, or I want my dream home first, and then I'll go back to that strategy, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Life shows up, things happen, and we get off track. Jobs lay off, things happen. And I just want to share with you, I want to be transparent. I've worked off and on for PG&E as a temporary hiring hall clerk for over 12 years, and I don't have a retirement plan. And so now I'm running to get my retirement strategy and everything in place so that I can retire, and not just retire, but leave a legacy for my family. So now that's another reason why I call myself the cash flow for retirement realtor, is because people I work with, I want them to understand the importance of leaving a legacy for their family. It's about being able to retire comfortably and leaving a legacy for your family. And we need to start as soon and as early I would say we need to start as early as we can in this process. My parents didn't teach me that. My parents didn't teach me, okay, you get this property and that property. And I remember one day we have a property that was across the street. It had a house that her best friend used to live in and 4 apartments in the back. And when that apartment came up for sale, and it was maybe 5 years before my mother passed, that property came up for sale. And I'm like, Mom, you should get that property. You should get that property. And she did not get that property because they didn't want to be landlords, not thinking about the property managers who could come in and do that. And you know what? She saw that property had sold for $150,000 and she was sick, because that was affordable. And she could have left that for us to work with, or she could have worked with it and had a property management take on that, and she could have retired a lot sooner than what she was able to. Matter of fact, when my mother actually resigned or retired from her job, she was sick and she had cancer. So it could have taken care of her. So one of the fastest ways, again, to develop cash flow for retirement is through purchasing a multi-unit property. And my niece and I, that's what we started out doing. That was a strategy I learned on my own, and that was why I got my real estate license. Okay, so however, it is a strategy that is seldom used by low to moderate income families. So the reasons why you should think about this strategy is NACA loan program will allow you to purchase a multifamily unit if you live in one of those units, and then the credit from the renters will go towards your income to bring your income up, which shows how much and make you be able to afford a little bit more on the loan than you would normally get qualified for. You will get income, I was just saying this, you will get income rental credits based on the units to be rented to increase your buying power. That's that increase right there, okay? You will have future income that will help you pay down your mortgage faster. Remember, the goal is pay that mortgage down, pay that mortgage off. You can go in on a loan with family member, friend, or spouse. NACA takes family members, friends, or spouse. You all have to just qualify. We don't like to do this, and I'm saying us as African Americans, but other races got this part down. They don't mind stacking up in a house and living with each other and taking on a property and having it written up where everybody is getting a piece of the pie. And it affects everybody's credit, not just the person who is like the primary person on the loan. Anybody who's on that loan gets a part of all of the benefits of having increased credit scores and having increased showing income. You guys all have that together, and then your purchasing power goes up together. Okay, so you only have to put 3 to 5 down as an owner occupancy. And this is not with NACA, because NACA doesn't require anything down. So when I say with traditional and conventional loans, you only have to put 3 to 5 down, FHA, traditional conventional loans, and then 0 with NACA, and 20%. See, if you were an investor, it would be 20%. So you want to start out as a first-time home buyer. That is the benefit, starting out doing this first and not as an investor. It is easier to move from a multi-unit to a single-family home, but harder to move from a single-family home to a multi-family unit. So a multi-family unit, when a lender looks at the fact that you've gone into a multi-family unit, well, anything could happen. You might not want to stay in that unit. You can move out anytime you want to out of that unit, and you could take the equity from that unit and you can move into a 203K rehab, live, fix, and flip, right? And so the lender will not penalize. I'm calling it penalize for lack of getting a better word. But they will not penalize you for moving to a multi-family unit to a single family resident now. So you would move out of that unit, you would move somebody else into the unit you were living in, and then you would say, okay, now I'm going into a home. So now I'm going to buy a single family home, and you do that. Okay, so once you move into a single family home, your goal is to purchase your first multi-unit, move out into a 203K rehab property, live in it, fix it, flip it. Then use the equity in that house to repeat the same steps to buy another multi-family unit, and do the same thing and maybe repeat that process a couple of more times until you have the right amount of equity, income, passive income that you need in order to begin to move toward wealth and also to invest more money towards your retirement. And that's the goal. That is the goal. So what are my next steps, Jill? What do I do next? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to read my short blog on 3 reasons why you should work with a realtor or real estate agent. 2, watch the video on how to sign up for a workshop and sign up, or send me your information as shown in the video to my email, which is jharealtor@gmail.com, and I'll sign you up. You just give me the date, the month, and the date. Join my fan page to stay abreast of what's happening in the market and to work towards your goals, because we'll be working together. Hey, I'm in this too. So the more people that we have working together, we don't know if we're going to wind up doing a deal together or we're just encouraging one another and supporting one another. So my fan page will not just be all about properties and what's on there, but I also am working toward mindset. So I'll be doing some mindset stuff too. And like I said, and doing some classes, and we'll be holding each other accountable to live our dreams. And when we work together, and there's more of us doing this together, you know what? It literally, it holds us up. It really holds us up. So invite your family, friends, and coworkers to join my fan page and ask them to hold you accountable and support you in living your dream. And then I just want to thank you for watching the video today. And again, share this with your family, your loved ones, and your coworkers, and you have a great day.